let me start by just saying that I really respect that group that's on the other sideline. As I said earlier in the week, Coach Monken is somebody that I've competed against for a lot of years now, and he's as good as there is at what they do, and his team plays really hard, and there was no question when we came in here, we knew it was going to be a 60-minute battle. We have tremendous respect for what they do on the field, and even more respect for what they do when they're not on the field. So my compliments for sure to West Point and to the Army football team. I'm really proud of this team. I put the starting lineups out there, and number 8 is starting at strong safety, and 26 is starting at linebacker, and 79 and 71 are starting on the offensive line, and Chris Muller is going to start his first game at center. I'm really proud of the unselfish nature of the players on this team, and I thought they performed really well. And I probably couldn't have enough good things to say about Josh Hicks, who goes from being the MVP of our bowl game last year as a tailback, and somebody who is a tremendous player at running back, and tells me that he'll play anywhere on the team if he can help the football team win. So I will always appreciate that. We had 4 different players who had to leave the game for injury and were able to come back. That doesn't happen without toughness. So I'm proud of this football team. It was a good win for us. Questions?
How did that go about with Josh? He came to you earlier in the week.
It's something Josh and I spoke about earlier in the year. I didn't think the timing was right. And then I approached it with him as we were getting ready for this game and kind of looking at who would be available. It's tough to play in this game on defense if you don't practice. So guys that are a little bit banged up, a little bit dinged up, and don't get to see it. And again, the way we do it in practice, it's still not going to be the speed you're going to see in the game. But if you don't at least have that, it's just really hard.
Did you start with what he played there? Obviously, the big interception at the end.
Yeah, fumble recovery, big interception. I think he had 6 tackles, it says on here, and I thought he did an excellent job.
Is that a temporary move, Kyle? Are you expecting him to be back running back?
We didn't see it as a long-term move, but we got to evaluate the health of the team because we've got a couple more guys banged up after this one.
How big was Martin's running early in the second half, first play from scrimmage?
I thought it was a big play. I thought running the ball effectively is one of the ways, one of the things you have to try to control the game when you play these option teams. It gives you a chance to really do 2 things. It gives you a chance to control the clock a little bit. I don't know what the final stats were. We didn't have a lot of time possession in the first half. Looks like we probably had a little bit more in the second half because it evened out a little bit. But it also gives your defense a chance to adjust. So I think that's sustained drives don't just help you on offense. They kind of help your defense as well.
Paul James' performance, probably the best one of the year.
Yeah, I thought he was back to 100%. I think I said that during the week, and he looked that way. And when he's 100%, he's a threat. He's a really good player.
Peru just couldn't give it a go in the second half?
It just, we just didn't think it was in his best interest to play in the second half. What will that mean for next week? I don't know that just yet. But it was a different injury than the one he's been battling.
Forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't think Patton played for the fourth quarter. Was that strategy, discipline?
No, he didn't practice much this week. So we weren't going to use him. He was kind of an emergency guy if we needed him, and we felt like we needed him.
What did you see from Hicks that made you say he could be the guy to play in the second half?
Well, I've seen him in high school. And even talking to his high school coach, Dave Marino, when we were recruiting him, there were a lot of people who thought he was probably a better corner than a running back. Now, I never believed that. I always thought he was a special running back, and I still do. But I thought he would have the skill set. And, he's explosive. He can run. He's a physical football player. He's got good ball skills, which showed up in the end zone. That's a huge play in the game. And I think all those things give you a chance to play a lot of positions.
Kyle, obviously, was it connected to the Anthony Chalky suspension? Did you move Josh before or after you knew Anthony was going to be suspended?
We moved him at the beginning of the week, and we knew about that situation at the beginning of the week.
Applefield and Heeman, before you watched the film, what did those 2 guys show you?
Well, Marcus had the one false start, but I'd be probably disingenuous to think on the road there wouldn't be a couple more, in a hostile environment, in your first start, as freshmen. I'm really excited about what they did. Now, we'll look at it on film, and it won't be as pretty as we think it is, even though the numbers are good. But I thought they were very composed through the game, and I don't think we gave up any sacks. We didn't give it, to not give up any sacks. If you run for 200 yards, you don't give up any sacks. You win a lot of games.
They popped a few big pass plays. What happened? There breakdowns or just?
Well, the one with Bless looked contested. You know, it looked like he was right there, and it was contested, and the kid made a nice play, jumped over him, and then went down the sideline on us. Even the one with Q, you know, he wasn't quite as contested as Bless. That was more of a play action pass. It's the dilemma of playing the option. You know, everybody's running to the dive, the quarterback in the pitch, and you got to be on your keys all the time, or they're going to run by you, and they did.
Two more questions. Kyle, in your opinion, would back-to-back wins change the overall feel of this season if you ended with the win Maryland as well?
I think winning helps everything. Winning always helps. There's no question. You know, for us, we take it 1 week at a time, and now we've got one more one-game season, and we'll do everything we can to be 1-0. And at the end of it, we'll look at it and see where that puts us. I hear a lot of things about 5 and 7 teams in bowl games, but I know there's a lot of games that have to be played, so I'm really not focused on that right now.
Coach, how critical was that interception by Hicks in the end zone?
Oh, really critical. I mean, you're talking about a 2-possession game or a 1-possession game. And, you know, one of the things in the second half I thought that really helped us was they only had 3 possessions in the second half. You know, so you get the interception and then you go on an 11-play drive to end the game. You know, the combination of those two things become big. But if you don't get the interception, you probably, if they score a touchdown, now you're dealing with an onside kick and you got a lot of other outcomes that you could be looking at.
Postgame maybe okay. Laviano, game managing, I mean, stats aren't flashy, but his performance, Laviano?
I think the performance reminded me a lot of Gary's in the Navy game last year. You know, very, very similar. And, you know, the running backs averaged 6.4 and 5.8 a carry. So, you know, there were a lot of handoffs today, and when he needed to make some throws, he made them, and I think we could do a better job catching it, too.
Thanks.
Thank you.